My name is Maria Spillane, and I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International. My very favorite part of it is the people and the relationships. The feeling of family, the feeling of belonging, and the feeling of support. You know, when life gets hard, when life starts like lifing big time, it's such a relief to know that there really is a community like this in the world. It's the first community I've ever been a part of that was like that. So prior to all this starting, I was not in the right place at all. I'm a musician and a songwriter, and I was professionally. I wanted to stop touring because that's a very lonely world. I was moving away from that and trying to figure out what to do. I went back to school and got a degree in education, and I started teaching music in a public school. So that's where I was at when I was introduced to Arbonne. I was introduced to this by a friend. I looked up what they had and I'm like, oh yeah, protein powder, I could really use that. No, those ingredients are really good. I'm like, wait, they really are clean, this is nice. I really do care about what I put on my son's skin. So I was very impressed with the ingredients policy, but none of that is what made me want to become an Arbonne consultant. I'd never sold anything. I never wanted to sell anything. Already decided there was no chance I was gonna do anything like this. And I'm listening to them talk, and the woman who's reading to me, she's got these index cards, and she's like this. I found out that she had worked really hard, and she was doing well in the business, and she was getting it done, you know? She's building her client base, she's building a team of consultants and teaching them how to build a client base. I'm like, oh, so she's a teacher. And the whole time I'm like this, talking about how she was feeling frustrated and sad because her children were in daycare and she didn't get to spend any time with them. And I started getting choked up. I was at work all day long. My husband was at work all day long. We saw our son for an hour at the end of the day. And then she was talking about how she worked her business and was super consistent, and she had a goal in mind to be home with her kids. And I'm now I'm relating to this woman. And I'm a teacher and I could make cue cards, and I totally know exactly what she's feeling. I feel like that every single day. I drop my son off at daycare and I cry. You know, somebody else watched him take his first steps. I will never get that moment with my son back, that she had sold her business and that she was done and that she was home with her kids. I was amazed by that. And I thought to myself, I have no idea if this is real or not, but I'm gonna feel so stupid if I don't even try it. If she could do it, I could do it. Yeah, okay, I was really super busy, but when you see something that's worth it, when you find something that's worth it, you figure it out, you make the time. For a period of time, I will temporarily give up watching TV to make this business happen. I'm working, I'm doing it, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm growing, I'm becoming more positive. My husband sees me happier, so he's happy enough. It was the first time in a long time I had not felt scared or nervous or stressed out or anxious. I felt hopeful. You have to shift from looking at this as a hobby and looking at this as a little side thing to looking at this as your career, looking at this as a real entrepreneurial pursuit. And I did. I really stepped into it. So I just followed the roadmap, and I followed the coaching, and I followed my mentors, who are, by the way, the most incredible people. They would tell me what to do, and then I would go do it, and then I would call them up and say, okay, I did that, now what? I did not want to go find another job. I did not want to go back to that. I didn't want to go back to putting my future in someone else's hands. But I also started building my team and, coaching and training other people to do what I was doing.
I can't even tell you how excited I am to be here with my team.
I'm so excited to be here. One thing I love so much about Arbonne is the community and the friendships.
Finding my passion and my purpose.
I figured out that I really loved it. I am a teacher deep in here. But that first trip was a life-changing thing. My husband still had that seed of doubt in his mind, but when I brought him to Puerto Rico on a trip that I earned, and then he got excited. His dad picked us up at the airport, and he was like, Dad, Maria's business is amazing. Maria's business is the future of our family. I feel like I can make an actual impact on the world. I feel like I can make an actual impact on my community. That's not something I would have ever thought before I found Arbonne. All I have to say is, you're crazy if you don't try. Like, what is there to lose? Oh, darn, I've got some pretty awesome products and I look really great. Like, oh well. But in all sincerity, there's no way to succeed unless you give it a shot. To me, Arbonne is a bridge from that hamster wheel life to like this life filled with vitality, excitement, and being really fully present in your world.